Hi, this is Huey with my 2 cents on Adidas's valiant attempt to combine Light Strike and Boost. The Pro Boost is out, and I didn't feel compelled to buy it. It did not take the best of both worlds. I think these two cushioning don't really work together well. Either you feel the Light Strike, or you feel the Boost, or you feel neither of them. What they did with the Pro Boost is that the rumor was that they're gonna have a Light Strike midsole and a Boost insole, but Boost insoles are commonly available these days through other people who are working on such chemical compounded insoles, and they really produce a very good product. So the options are out there. So Adidas, I suppose, decided to not work on that and instead innovate by having Boost midsole inside a Light Strike carrier, like what they did with the Hyperdunk 17s, where they had the a hard, rigid EVA outer shell with a React core. But it is a lot better than Nike's first attempt to combine EVA with React. So the cushioning it's good. It feels better than just a plain old Hardens. The level of boost is probably around what they've used in Harden 3s, or even thinner. The Harden 3s, this is not the entire thickness of the insole. This is what's covering the upper material. So the boost thickness of shoes like this, think about it as about half, or 60% of it is actually the boost. So on the forefoot, you can imagine how minimal the boost is here. So this, without a good insole, you will feel like you're just touching the ground, even though there's boost. That problem is solved. The boost, well, actually it's not solved. They do have React, but if you experience true Light Strike, if you've experienced what Light Strike can offer in terms of maximum cushioning and responsiveness, Dame 6 definitely has it covered. The Harden 4s, it felt like they have a puck of Light Strike at the heel and nothing on the forefoot. It was back to the 90s Adidas, where the forefoot was nothing but hardness. I hate Harden 4s because of that. Although you see the Light Strike foam and you do see the boost when you peel off the insole, the boost is actually at the core right underneath your foot, but it's not great. It does not feel like the kind of boost you've had in let's say the Rose 6 or 7 or 8, or some of the earlier Adidas models with thick boost midsoles. Nothing like that. You don't feel that? If you want to enjoy Light Strike, or what they attempted to do by combining Boost with Light Strike, just get Dame 6. It has much better cushioning than that. And what I found out was an interesting surprise recently was that Dame 5, which was the last Dame series, maybe not the last, but the latest to use the bounce cushioning, it's actually pretty good in terms of cushioning. I just completely dismissed it because it felt so hard on the forefoot because of that rigid plastic plate that they have right underneath your foot, right underneath the struggle board. So I thought it was pretty bad, but it's actually still better than the Dawn Issue 1s, which you really don't feel much on the forefoot. And even the heel, the boost is, the bounce is low to the ground, yet it's as good as the first bounce Damian Lillard model, which was the Lillard 2s, or the Dame 2s. So this is actually pretty good, and I think they're going on sale really cheap. So get them if you can. I'm really loving it. I didn't know just changing the forefoot, changing the insole they give, which is paper thin with a pretty common decent thickness Ortholite insole, made a world of difference. I love the cushioning setup here because the Ortholite actually neutralizes that plastic plate, so you actually feel like you're activating the bounce underneath it more. So I don't feel that firmness on the forefoot. The traction, of course, is the worst Adidas has to offer. I think this is when things started to go south for Adidas, before they actually used to innovate and come up with decent traction. And this repeated itself, but it got a little bit, it got bad, or if not just as, it got worse or just as bad with the Harden 3s, this copy-paste herringbone pattern, which only works on pristine court or asphalt, or AstroTurf. Any dusty court, you're going to slip like crazy. The Lillard 6, the Dame 6 actually had some improvements, but not that great, slightly. As for the Pro Boost, it actually has a much better, caught a mosquito, a much better traction than compared to some of Adidas' recent failures. So I give Adidas props for the traction that they managed to devise with a little bit of wording along with some modified herringbone traction. So it was good. The width, the size, it's really big. So unless you're going to do what I did with the Dame 6, which was I got true to size. If I went down half a size, I felt like the width was going to be a little bit too tight. But the toe box area has a lot of dead space, so I lock it down by adding some extra lace loops. So if you're going to add lace loops and you feel like you can't really go down without feeling the pinch on your pinky toes, for Adidas models that came out a little bit big, for the Pro Boost, go true to size and add lace loops like what I did, or go down half a size. Or if you have really narrow feet or really flat foot, you could even go down a whole size, because the Pro Boost is one of the biggest Adidas shoes that I've ever experienced. Boost, Light Strike, combination, fusion, experiment. For now, don't feel much different from it feels inferior to a decent Boost shoe like the Duro 6 or 7. It feels inferior to a Light Strike foam shoe in terms of heel cushioning like the Harden 4s. Overall, it's inferior to the Light Strike foam cushioning that you experience in Dame 6. It's kind of like Harden 4s. Minimal cushioning that you can feel on the heel and nothing on the forefoot.